G'day. It's the Misfits Podcast. We're back. It's another week. How about that?
Yeah.
Crazy. Another
week.
Time passes, life goes on, and here we are in the same set. We've been waiting all week for this, sitting here.
Yeah, we haven't moved since the last podcast.
No.
Yeah. Fruit flies are still here, but
just been oh yeah, we got a few flute
fries.
We got
a few flute fries.
got a few fruit flies flying around the set.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah.
That's one of them gone.
That's one of them
taken
gone.
out.
Murder live on the show.
Yeah.
Murder live on the show. Swagger's here.
Hello, I was the person that left the banana on the set, the peel, and
it's your fault that the fruit flies are
It
here.
was my fault. In my defense, I mean, I have no defense. I could have thrown it out like a person, but I figured, people will clean up after me. But that's way too much to ask. So now I know.
Yeah.
Throw away my banana peel.
That's right. You idiot.
Yep.
Yeah, someone could have slipped on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Imagine that. The workplace hazard.
It was left on the table right at the
You
end.
never
there.
know. Have you seen cartoons and stuff?
Yeah.
It's true. The fruit flies could have picked it up.
Exactly.
Put it right over.
Jay's here.
I'm also here. Hello, everyone.
He's present.
I'm present.
How about that?
It's crazy, like Santa.
What's it feel?
Presents.
What's it feel like to be present?
Pretty good. I'm in the moment. I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel alive.
You're not thinking ahead?
I'm not thinking ahead.
You're
I'm
not
thinking
worried
in the
about
moment.
anything?
Nope, nothing
You're
at
not
all.
anxious?
No.
You don't have anything you
My
have on your
wife's
mind?
leaving me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well now
I'm a bit
you're
worried
no longer
now.
present though.
I'm a bit
all right, so we're
worried.
going to get you to calm down.
Okay, how do I get out of it?
Okay, so we
I'm in
need
the
you
future
to
right
take
now.
some deep
I'm
breaths.
3 years in
Right.
front. Okay.
Your wife is leaving you, but that's okay.
It's
You're
okay.
in the present
I'm
moment.
in the present.
The wolf mentality.
Wolf mentality. Alpha.
Alpha. Part of the pack. Matt's also part of the pack. He's
That's
here.
I'm here.
His wife's not leaving him.
I'm not even married.
He's not even married.
I'm not even married.
Matt's smart.
Yeah.
Good man.
Very
Good man.
smart.
Hasn't given into the sham that is marriage.
Nah, but it's good for taxes,
Yeah,
right?
very good for taxes.
yeah.
That's why you marry your best friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
How
Yeah.
good is it for taxes, though?
Really good. In
Really good?
America, it's really good. And if you have kids, even better.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like a IRL money glitch kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like a GTA duel.
Sick.
Does it change on how many kids you have?
Yeah.
I think
You get more, right?
I think you get more. I mean, it depends.
No way.
So if I get a
Yeah.
bunch of kids and a wife and I treat them all terribly, but they're kind of just there, do I get tax breaks?
Yeah.
That's the 1950s,
So wait,
mate.
so you
That's
can
where
have
everyone could afford
50s.
houses and
Yeah.
shit.
so you can have like a real family, right? And then
Yeah.
one that you just like marry because it's just like
Just for show.
both mutually doing it for the taxes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. I
Huh.
always thought about, I had this joke
Yeah.
with my friend in high school and college. You know, we were like best friends. And I was just like, I might just fucking marry you for tax breaks, dude. And he was like,
Dude?
yeah.
Dude.
Same, bro.
He's like,
isn't that
sick.
kind of gay? You're like, no, dude.
Yeah,
No, it's for
It's
taxes.
for taxes, dude. It's completely fine.
Taxes are gay on
No
the other
homo,
hand.
no
We
taxes.
spit, swap, make out,
Right.
but you know,
Gotta make it
that was,
believable.
you know, it's just to make it believable.
That's the new no homo. It's just like, you just fuck your best friend. Dude, this is for taxes.
It's for
Yeah,
taxes.
it's for taxes.
It's for
For taxes. We'll get
Dude, can I
married.
nut in your
It's
face for
fine.
taxes?
Dude, open your mouth. Just for taxes.
I gotta make a deposit. Come on.
Oh,
Dude, you're not going to swallow? It's for taxes. Dude.
Come on.
Come on, guys. Get out of the closet.
Come on, guys.
We
Come
know
on,
you're not nutting
guys.
in your friend's face for taxes.
Come on,
Yeah.
guys, for taxes.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Do it for
Let's
taxes.
go.
Listen,
That's
there's nothing wrong with coming on guys for taxes or not,
No, it's good.
you know? Because
Yes.
we are progressive individuals.
Absolutely.
We respect people of all different shapes, sizes, and
Yes.
sexualities.
We say get out there, just nut on everything you can. All sorts of
Everything.
faces.
Look, we
Yeah.
could all...
With consent.
With consent.
That's right.
That's a big thing.
There are so many things that divide us in
Mm.
today's world. So many things that separate us as human beings,
Mm.
create distance.
Yeah.
Yes.
But one thing that unifies all of us is busting a nut.
Yeah, we need to
Busting a
come
nut.
together
That's right.
Mm.
Come
Yes,
together
come
right
together.
right
now.
now.
The Beatles were right.
They were way ahead of their time.
Yeah, way ahead of their time.
They knew what needed to happen.
Yes. Speaking of respecting other people, in recent news, cancellation is
Yeah,
is
we're
on the rise.
Full
yeah,
force.
dude, Misfits are canceled again.
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 Like,
It's
Fuck, how
happened-
many
it's
times
happened.
I
that?
haven't
like-
even gone on the internet today. What happened?
It's
Oh,
like
man.
68 times
It's
now.
it's a bit of a long story.
well, it's a good thing we're on a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Best place for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Best place.
Imagine
Yeah.
that. The whole podcast, we just go, no, let's not get into that. It's a bit of a long story.
Yeah. I mean, well, it started with Schlatt, Jay Schlatt,
Yeah.
our good pal right behind you. We got some of his merch right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Schlatt, big legend.
Big
He
legend.
invited us on to record another video for him on his channel, Jackbox video.
Quality content.
And yeah, so the idea was it'll be like just all like the other dozen times that we've done it with him. Just have a good couple of cracks, make a good couple of jokes. He'll pick from like the best, and then good video.
Yeah. Well, this particular week was interesting because the game mode that we chose was one, I forget the name of the game mode on Jackbox.
Yeah.
But the concept of it is that you're supposed to everyone writes out little prompts.
Yeah.
And it's
Survive the internet is what it's called.
Survive the internet. The player's
very funny.
It's the player's job to use the prompts that everyone typed out and take them horrifically out of context and make them into something that is cancelable, basically.
So that's literally the game.
Yeah. Something that would generate outrage. Something that's,
So, for example, it would be something like, what do you think, what's your thoughts on hot dogs would be the prompt that you type in. And then you type in like, oh, I like, I like putting the whole thing in my mouth or whatever. And then it'll be like, you have to write, then another player gets that as a prompt, what your answer was. And then you have to write an article or you have to like put a hashtag or like put a photo next to it or whatever location. And then, then it would be like this outrageous thing. Yeah. And that was the whole...
So the point of the game is to be offensive.
To be offensive and to take each other out of context for a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, this seems like a great idea. It's kind of like a Cards Against Humanity-esque game, a bit of fun with the boys.
Kind of seems like you can get away with it too because it's like a free reign.
That's right. So it was me, Swagger, Minx, Schlatt, Charborg, and Cryos Gaming.
Yes.
All good friends of ours.
Yeah.
Having a bit of fun. We did the session.
We did. We also did Patently Stupid as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is where the controversy, the bulk of it comes from.
Oh, yes.
But it's like the thumbnail and everything. Mm-hmm. But like, after we had recorded this, I thought like, wow, there were a couple like edgy bits and like jokes that were made in like, I would say like personally poor taste.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I trust, that, these specific moments would get cut out or replaced with other things, or maybe we'll try to record again or whatever. And,
who snitched?
No, nobody snitched.
Well, I just left those.
I just left them in. I woke up this morning to a lot of notifications. And, it was about, a couple of text messages like, hey, you should, did you see Schlatt's new upload? And I was like, no, I didn't. And I look at it, and the title is We Made This Game Terrible.
Yeah.
And it was, the thumbnail was a picture from a joke during Patently Stupid of a poorly drawn, like, smiley face that was, like, colored in, scribbled in with, black.
Yeah.
And it said blackface over the top of it.
Yeah.
Now, looks bad.
Yeah, it's going to get people clicking.
Looks pretty bad.
Does it sound bad? Or
I mean, the context for this was during Patently Stupid, there was a prompt that says, I can't stop craving slurs.
Yeah.
Like, it's craving saying slurs. And, the idea of this game, Patently Stupid, is that you get this prompt, and then you have to come up with an invention or a solution to the prompt that's the funniest. Mm-hmm. So I went in a direction that maybe I shouldn't have, but also made sense to me at the time, where I was going to poorly draw blackface, and then my idea was like, about, how people identify as things. Like, if you just identify as, like, an oppressed group, then you can say it. But you'll get canceled for something else, which is the blackface. So I was, explaining the joke makes it a lot less funny. But, half the people that were outraged, probably more than half, didn't watch the video or didn't understand the joke or didn't even give a fuck to understand the context. They just
definitely a bold thumbnail for Schlatt to choose.
Yes.
Sure. Definitely, yes. Really putting it all out there.
Yeah.
And he changed the thumbnail.
He did.
After it.
That's fucked.
By then it was too late. By then the wheels had already started turning and Twitter was having its way with things.
It was 50,000 tweets.
That's a couple of tweets. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Can you imagine a few scribbles on a piece of paper can make that
dude. I just found it really...
I found it funny. It's a funny joke.
Here's the thing about these sessions, right? Is that, you probably didn't expect Schlatt to include that joke.
No.
But he did, and that's okay. And to be fair, like, I didn't... Watching the video, I was like, oh, this is all fine. Like, this is all
thought it was funny.
That part was, like, definitely not the funniest moment, but that's okay. Like, the attempt at comedy is clear.
Yeah.
That's really all we're doing is we're just kind of playing within the bounds of this game, trying to make jokes, trying to be funny. Yeah. And that's really all there is to it. Most intelligent people would look at that and be like, oh, well, clearly they're not actually being racist. In fact, the whole purpose of the game is actually making fun of, people that would be racist or would do this,
because
think this way genuinely. That's actually why it's funny.
Well,
for most of these offensive things, it's because it's so ridiculous.
It's annoying to have to explain the absurdity of I can say the N-word if I paint my face black because how do
sucks the life out of it.
It just
the shock, the whatever.
It's just
Is it the pinnacle of comedy? No, no one's trying to claim that it is.
Yeah,
is it maybe in poor taste? Absolutely.
Yeah,
is that okay? Absolutely.
Do people have to find it funny?
Nope.
No,
not at all.
And it's just really weird. Like people online, like over Twitter. Yeah, they had looked at like the bulk of these jokes. There was like a picture during the Survive the Internet one, which was like it was like a guy resting his feet by a campfire, and then somebody wrote the caption, just chilling after the Klan meeting, which is fucking hilarious.
Funny as fuck.
But people are taking all of this and saying like these guys like endorse the KKK. These guys, fucking are super racist. Yeah. Like they're drawing all of these conclusions from an attempt at humor. And what fucks me about it is I think, especially with comedy, so long as the attempt of humor, the attempt to make somebody laugh, the attempt to make somebody smile and feel good, and et cetera, like that attempt should be like, acknowledged and cherished. A joke isn't a statement. A joke isn't like a reflection of your personal ideas. A joke is a joke.
A joke is actually the freedom of letting all of that strip away and simply being goofy and for the sake of it.
Exactly.
Which is why.
And you also had the game as like a way of like
it's like the whole point of the game.
Confusing to me.
It's so funny. Like the whole thing is a joke. We play Survive the Internet, and the whole point of the game is to take it out of context. And then people on Twitter took the entire fucking thing out of context.
Look, there's a problem here, and the problem is that it's just a losing battle to try and convince these people.
Because they're all kids.
Obviously we're addressing it in part just because it's kind of funny to laugh at them. It's kind of funny to talk about. It's kind of funny to acknowledge that this is a growing phenomenon on the internet. But really, like, this is a non-issue. None of these cancellations ever have any effect.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's no longer people bitching about it. It's no longer people saying, I don't agree with this. If you're my mutual, I want you to unfollow these creators or you can unfollow me. We're no longer friends. It's not even that anymore.
Yeah.
It's these people made a joke that I disagree with, and I came to the conclusion that they're racist and that they're horrible.
Terrible
and
people.
that we need justice. There needs to be justice for this. And then they dox and get personal information. They get addresses, they get phone numbers, and that's when it becomes fucking dangerous. Yeah. That's when it crosses a line of, you could be potentially, like even the idea of doxing, getting information out there is fucking dangerous. Because so people can use that, and I'm sure a lot of the people that dox and practice that, they do it in hopes of harassing family members, of harassing you personally, of calling the police and saying, hey, I'm mentally ill, I killed my wife and 3 kids, and I'm going to shoot any cop that comes in here. And then, the cops are going to rock up with a SWAT team, and you're going to answer your fucking door being like, what's going on? They're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
If you make a sudden movement.
Yeah, it's getting scary. It's getting scary.
That's the thing, is that these people online are fucking militant. Yeah. Like, it's like a militant thing.
Mm. Yeah, it's almost like people are using it as an excuse. Like it's not even the same people that are getting like used to get angry. And the first example that you had of people just being like, I don't like the joke and they should be cancelled. It's almost like there's a new breed almost.
Well, now
people aggressive.
Yeah,
just like looking for a reason to be upset.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're anonymous.
It's like this guy made a joke.
Yeah.
Then I didn't like. Let's ruin his fucking life. Yeah. Let's put his family at risk. Let's put himself at risk.
Anarchists.
Yeah, well, it's just these people that they feel like they're at the top of the moral high ground mountain. Yeah. And that everything they believe is what should be. Like this vision they have, like, hey, nobody can be problematic, and if you're it's like authoritarian. If you're problematic, we're gonna fucking send people to your house and possibly get you killed.
Yeah,
we're gonna harass you. We're going to terrorize you into submission.
Jay said, like, I see him as like an anarchist. I'm imagining like the guy dressed up with all like the anarchy symbols on his wall. It's just some like fat neck beard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like 14-year-old girls anymore. It's like people disguising.
A lot of them are, though. A lot of the people that are okay with this are these younger folks, are these 14, 15-year-old fucking kids that don't understand anything. And
they got too much time on their hands. That's a dangerous combo right there.
Well, exactly.
It's ego-driven. A lot of it. Power. It's
posturing.
Power hungry. It's posturing. And I guess it's some flailing around for a sense of purpose. But really, I think what it shows more than anything is the tendency for the internet to enable people to seek negativity and consume themselves with it, as opposed to simply tuning out what they disagree with, what they don't like, and focusing on positives and doing positive things for humanity. Instead of that, they take this lazy route where instead of actually, generating change in the world, they simply focus on these ridiculous non-issues and become incredibly aggressive about them.
Yes.
Because it, generates attention, because it's attached to creators who have a lot of eyes on them, and there are these insane groups of stans and young fans and these communities that form around these creators. And so it's very easy to tweet with the creator's name and to immediately get a ton of eyes on your tweet and a ton of other people who agree with what you're saying. They get a few hundred likes. They start like, oh, I'm right. Look at all these people that agree with me. I'm a crusader for the right cause. When in reality, you're just a delusional child. It's like, and you're simply just putting your attention into something mainly out of, I don't know what the motive is, boredom or self-righteousness and virtue signaling, posturing, all these fucking things. And it's unhealthy as fuck, and it's gross, and they need to grow up. And if you want to change the world, maybe start by taking a fucking look at yourself as an individual and the content you're consuming.
I just don't understand, like this idea. Like it's. I had a thought and I just lost it.
Yeah, it's because you're a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
And
and I'm going to fucking
make shock
dox you.
humor jokes.
Yeah.
You're fucking right wing.
I'm not.
You're right wing, racist, misogynist, pig.
This is all true, by the way.
Hates all people besides yourself.
This is all true. It's all true.
All bars.
It's all true.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not true.
If that was a tweet, I'd like it.
I'd private retweet it on my fucking private account.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know, dude. It's hard. I hate this. I hate this because I feel like I'm just getting old, man. I feel like the distance between the way that I think about the world and the way that teenagers today think about the world is just getting further and further apart.
Kids these days.
And I hate feeling like an old man shaking his fist at the clouds. I try my best not to be that way.
It's like, you're like, is it actually?
Nice.
Oh,
got a fruit
slapping your hand
Mr. Miyagi style.
It's like you're trying to think like, oh, am I just getting older? Is it like, do I actually have experience after living this long? Realize, no, this is fucking stupid. Don't do this.
Yeah. Well, because
it's a difficult thing to
back when I would watch something on YouTube or on TV or a movie or whatever, and I came across something that I personally didn't like, and if it made me that upset, I would turn it off and I would watch something else. If somebody put out a video that I watched and I was like, this video is bad, like I don't like these jokes or I don't like what this guy is trying to do, I fucking unsubscribe and that's it. I don't have to go on Twitter and write a fucking 3-paragraph essay and talk to all of because a lot of these people, their only fucking friends are these groups that they make that these groups
I'm gonna
that
post
people
this on
have
my Discord channel chat.
That are obsessed with creators, that are obsessed with anything.
Yeah.
And all these people, it's like it's weird. It harbors like this like groupthink. If you don't think this way, you're out of the group, and
we're out of the Discord.
And everyone wants to feel included, especially
at
that age where you're very sort of
insecure.
Yeah, and alone.
Very insecure and alone.
It's it's interesting. I think there's a couple of reasons for it. I think one of them is that anxiety is on the fucking rise in young people.
Facts.
And let's be honest, it's very easy to be nihilistic about the world. It's very easy to be like, oh my God, there's so much shit wrong with the world. There's so many bad people. You're seeing a lot of social justice movements that have real causes, the fight against racism, especially in America, like lots of legitimate issues with the world today. And people are upset about it, understandably. But understanding big social issues is actually quite difficult and requires quite a lot of research and
Complex.
education. So what a lot of young people do is, instead of actually worrying about larger scale issues, they zone in on these unimportant YouTube content creators who are making jokes, and think like, oh, this is part of the problem. You're why there's so many racist people around today. You're why this is happening. You're why people have these views. When in reality, we know our audience quite well, all right?
Yeah, and we know ourselves quite well.
We know ourselves very well. And while I'm sure there's a few bad eggs in our audience who, might see a racist joke and laugh at it for the wrong reasons because they're genuinely racist, vast majority of them are actually just people who are fairly intelligent, understand that we're actually making fun of racism. We're actually making fun of whatever, the fuck the topic is, whatever. There's all kinds of things to make fun of in this world. They understand it. They get it. But these other people are like, oh, you guys are contributing to an adding problem that we're aware of.
And they fucking hunt for it too. They hunt for it.
They hunger for it.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier than reading the fucking article.
Yeah, they go out of their way.
Watch a Slat video and write a tweet about it.
Yeah, they're waiting every upload, fucking subbed, noties on, everything. Like, fuck, just to fucking
and then there's all this shit about the video where it's not only like them giving Slat shit. They're like, oh, but all these other people were also in the video. All these other people.
I saw some of that.
And
they
laugh
at
it.
Behind the beam there.
And I guess it's fine that I'm named and Fitz is named because it's we did tell like the jokes that we're tongue in cheek, like pretty offensive. But the thing is, obviously, what we thought going into it wasn't, how it was perceived by people. And I feel like people didn't even most of the people probably didn't even watch the video.
No.
They see the thumbnail and they think, oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah. Or they don't even see the thumbnail at all and they just see the discussion on Twitter and they read it and then they just take that as fact.
How many tweets were there? Like 50,000?
55,000.
How many views did the video have?
750K last time I checked, probably near 1 million now.
That's still like a large portion. What the fuck?
It's a lot, but a lot of these people that are upset aren't even fans, and they're dragging like everybody else that was involved into the mud. Like Charborg, he didn't say anything. People were giving him shit for it.
Yeah, I saw tweets like the one I clicked on the topic or whatever it was, and it was people being like, these people laughed at some of the jokes. They should be
they should be held accountable.
Like that is unreal to me. They laugh.
Bro, there's gonna be something. You know how China has like the social credit score kind of thing? There's going to be that, like an unofficial one for the internet. It's like anytime some creator does something stupid, they're going to have like a mark on like their permanent record or some dumb shit.
I think getting canceled over an attempted humor or even like a joke or anything that clearly isn't anything actually wrong. There was no fucking victim.
Yeah.
Like, you can't look at it, get offended and say, I'm a victim. Like, it's... You listen to something that you thought wasn't okay, but it doesn't mean I fucking attacked you. It doesn't mean anybody attacked you.
What the fuck?
Just be aware and like keep an eye out for genuine racism, genuine behavior that's reprehensible.
I mean, the David Dobrik shit with what's his name, Dirty Dom.
I don't know too much about that.
I don't know much about it.
Is that a joke?
It's not a joke. That Dirty Dom guy actually, allegedly, did sexually assault somebody.
Yeah.
That's something you can look at and say, this guy doesn't deserve a platform. This guy deserves to be in prison. If that is true.
Yeah.
Because there was no court case or anything yet, but. It doesn't look good.
You're guilty until proven innocent on the internet.
Well, yeah, or it's even like, even if you it's like between this whole canceling thing, it's this giant process of hate, of terrorizing a creator, of doxing, of all sorts of things. But it's like they're like sexual assault and jokes about blackface are apparently on the same level, if not closely together. It's
you should go to jail for making that joke, to be honest.
Yeah,
can you get the handcuffs off the teddy there?
You're going to prison.
Can we make that a thumbnail, him with the handcuffs
You're going to prison.
I would say it's some scary shit, but then I just think well, it's Twitter. It's nonsense. I know there are genuine repercussions and some of these people are going too far, but by and large, it really is just a lot of noise.
It's mostly noise. Within the noise is the insidious issue.
Yeah, I suppose it's also the internet, a growing culture. But just learn how to if you don't find the content funny, you should leave it at that. as an individual. Don't become a crusader about it. Just be like, oh, this video was kind of funny. Like maybe they found our attempts at shock humor a little cringe. That's fine. Like, whatever. You didn't like the video.
Tastes vary.
It's your taste vary.
Maybe these dumb old boomers, they can't make funny jokes. I'm just going to go to the next video.
We're not saying like you have to find it hilarious and you have to like the content.
Yeah.
Just don't like go the other way. Like there's two ways to go about it. Just fucking find some other shit to watch. I don't know, watch a fucking speedrun video or some shit. Something that makes you happy. Something that makes you feel
watch one
like
of them darn Minecraft speedrun videos. You darn millennial.
That's really, that's the most empowering thing you can do as a person, is not allow these things to have such a control over you. Just be like, oh, well, whatever. That was unfunny. And, that was unfunny. I was cringe. I move on.
I think a lot of it is counterintuitive because people are, 50,000 tweets about the video, 50,000 tweets of people saying this is horrible. Yeah. And all you're doing is not going to fucking stop me from making jokes in the future. It's not going to stop Schlatt or Fitz or anybody in the video. It's going to have pretty much no effect. Mm-hmm. But all you're doing is literally putting that video in front of more people.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like
really, you should be thanking them. You should give them a thank you.
I'm not going to thank them.
I mean, I guess you could put the shoe on the other foot there and say that we're actually feeding into the culture by addressing it so often.
Yeah.
Which in some ways I do feel that it's a little counterintuitive for us to be always addressing it whenever it happens.
I mean, 50,000 tweets is a pretty
look, I like talking about it because I disdain this culture and I look down on it, and I like to make fun of it. But at the same time, I think, well, maybe we are just giving them what they want. We're giving them attention, so that they can now look at this podcast and be like, oh, I can't believe it, and further the cycle of
we're guilty by association now. We're with them on the podcast. We're done.
Fuck. For all the stands coming from Twitter, you might be really tired after getting so fucking angry. So I think you should get some gamer subs. It's good for you. It's good. There's no sugar. It's keto.
That's right.
You get a lot of energy. It's better than G Fuel. It's very, very nice.
Maybe if you drank some gamer subs, you'd actually go outside
and
walk around or something.
Work out. Game with your friends.
Yeah, like maybe learn how to have a conversation with a person in real life. Like that.
Oh, there it is. Right.
We have our new flavor, Misfits Melon. It's honeydew.
It's incredible.
It's honeydew. If you watch BoJack Horseman because you identify with a complete asshole that's a piece of shit, you might
I like BoJack Horseman.
You might hate honeydew like him, but don't be like BoJack. He's a piece of shit. So get this Misfits Melon.
Hey, BoJack changed.
He did change at the end, and actually he you listen to this. BoJack at the end of the series he tried honeydew and he said, not bad.
Not bad.
He changed.
Not bad.
He changed as a person.
That's right.
And you can change as a person if you go to gamersubs.gg and use code MISFITS for 10% off your order.
Bad.
It's not so bad. Life's not so bad.
Life's not so bad.
Please go outside. Please go the fuck outside.
Please learn how to make friends. Okay, guys, it's getting ridiculous.
Well, that was a very interesting conversation about that. Feels like it's on repeat with the amount it happens these days.
Yeah,
this is a podcast.
It really is. It does feel like it's getting worse. I remember talking about cancel culture back in the early days of the podcast.
Back when it was just kind of in its infancy.
Sort of bubbling up. Now it's gone
way out of
control.
Yeah. Remember when stands was like a new thing? Like the idea of a stand. It was just like, oh, these people are just really into content. These people are just really into content creators. Now there's a fucking army of them.
Yeah.
Now there's there's a good couple 100,000 people in all these different little cells, all these different little groups.
We have stands.
We have stands.
And
I don't mind our stands.
I don't mind our stands.
They're not trying to fucking tear people down. They're just obsessed with us, which is at times a little creepy. But for the most part, it's harmless.
And we acknowledge that most of them are teenagers. Look, if you're like a teenager and you just really like a content creator and you want to talk about it, that's fine. As far as I'm concerned. If you're in your 20s, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start standing
if you're 23,
another person, like a real life person.
Maybe
standing a PhD,
standing like a law degree or something instead, or I don't know, fucking stand like an actual interest.
Education.
Because I don't know if you're 20 at a bar, you can't be talking to women like, oh, do you like fucking this Minecraft YouTuber? See the new video? It doesn't really translate so well. I mean, if you want to, you can, but
anyway. Actually insane.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's a weird time.
It really is.
I blame COVID. I blame the
Yeah, it
pandemic.
puts time on people's hands sitting inside.
Put everybody inside, make them all upset, make them all angry. And
that's why it's always the 14-year-olds. Think of when you were 14 on the internet. You had so much time on your hands and like
porn.
zero responsibility.
So much porn.
Yeah, why can't these darn kids just go watch porn instead? What's wrong with them?
How much
if
porn
they're
are we
over
talking?
18.
Dude,
if they're over 18.
Porn is actually really bad for women in the industry, and
Dude,
you know,
there we
actually, I think Why don't you fucking unfollow me if you watch porn? Fucking unfollow me.
At 14,
okay, I'm
I
privating
was,
my account. I'm gonna fucking quote retweet this.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
At 14, I was doing 18-hour days porn watching.
Fuck me,
Yeah.
dude. Marathon. 18-hour
18
days?
hours. Yeah.
That's a
Is that like the first weekend you found out how to like jerk off?
Yeah, just went through
The two fingers?
I went through the entire 2,862 pages of.
Fuck.
Yeah, it took
Damn.
me 18 hours to finish
Jesus.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much time on your hands as a
God
kid.
damn.
It's a hell of a
You
thing.
must have had a really dry mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
Just spitting.
Spinning.
Yep.
Yep.
What are you guys talking about?
Spit wank, nature's lube.
I've never
Bit of
used
crying.
spit to wank before.
No?
Is that weird?
You don't hock a loogie all over
No.
your cock?
Oh, that's just
No, man.
Just
I only
hock a-
confirm or deny that I've done that.
Hock a mucus, just a
Never,
gobby
mate.
So
mucus loogie,
That's
like
Not a loogie.
No?
Never a loogie.
Bro, it's self-lubricating, mate.
Yeah,
you
you
just got to get it like going first, then you get some.
Nah,
you
my
know?
dad always said never hock a loogie in the nudie, mate. Just never do it. It's
Yeah.
just not on. It's
No
not worth your
way.
time.
good old dad with the life advice.
Yeah, he
You know,
didn't, he didn't
probably-
teach me shit about sex. He just told me not to jerk off with snot.
It's not
Hey,
right,
man.
mate. It's not right.
That's why
It's not
that's why you
right.
listen to adults. They have that life experience that
Right.
you need to cherish and understand.
Like us.
Yeah,
We're your dads.
We're getting old.
yeah.
We're not getting old.
We're old.
Mate, you were just
It's so
talking about like
old.
the meaning of life and all this shit
I've been-
beforehand.
so-
What
I've
happened
been
to all that?
I've been fascinated about the meaning of life since I was a boy.
Mm.
Okay.
since I was me boy.
This is a
Everyone should be fascinated about the meaning of life.
this is a controversial take, but do you think the rise of the weird culture with all the kids on the internet is a result of it being less common for parents to discipline their kids?
I think.
Is
that-
it?
I don't know.
I think that kids are definitely coddled more than ever before.
I learned
Yeah.
what that word means today.
Jay didn't know what coddled meant before. I had to explain it to him.
Oh,
You told
really?
me.
He's
Yeah.
coddled. He hasn't been exposed to words like that.
For the listeners at
Exactly.
home who are like maybe like Jay and don't know what the word coddled means.
It's not a type of fish, by the way.
It's actually
Yeah,
not a type
no,
of
it's not a
fish.
type of
It does
fish.
sound like it could be delicious.
Yeah.
It basically means to shelter. It's been
Shelter,
sheltered
the baby.
to baby to
Helicopter.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
you
it's a
know,
bit
to
different.
shield your kids from what might be
Reality.
necessary suffering or reality,
Mm.
because you want to protect them, but really you're overprotecting them,
And
and
then they don't develop as people.
yeah, they don't develop properly, and they're very
And then
and they're almost
Yeah.
spoiled from the get go.
Mm.
And
Do you
before
think-
before I get canceled, sorry, man. Before I
No,
get
yeah.
canceled again, discipline. When I say don't discipline the kids, I don't mean fucking take off the belt and hit them. I don't
fuck
mean yeah.
Oh,
I
you
don't-
aren't? Oh,
no,
shit.
I don't mean anything like that. Okay, I just mean like a. You say something rude or you act out of fashion.
No internet
and
for a week.
I did that shit. My dad, I
He used
I,
the hands, not a belt.
Yeah,
He's
I-
respectable.
I would say, when I was a little rebellious asshole, and I say, "Fuck you, mom." Like the only one time I ever did that. The only
Worst.
one
Nah,
fucking
you
time I
can't
ever
do
did that. He just went up back of my head and just went like
Bang,
that.
fucking just
And
judo
my
chop, like,
fucking
bang.
I don't believe in
My
hitting your
son,
kid,
you're
but if you say
my-
fuck you, mom, like,
my head just went like that,
Boom,
and I
smacks the table.
and immediately I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
say
I'm
that
sorry.
one
I'm sorry.
again.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're,
what I
you're
meant.
a bit advocating for child abuse then.
Not child abuse. I'm advocating just
just
for
knocking
like
some sense in him.
yeah, exactly. Like there's
I think this
nothing
can be
wrong with the
accomplished.
slap.
I think it can be
Yeah.
accomplished without a slap.
A little bit of child abuse is okay, though,
I
right?
think there's
Just
levels to
tiny
a
bit.
slap. A cuff, perhaps. A little
cuff.
cuff on the head.
Yeah, like
A little like, hey, knock that off.
Exactly.
That's okay. Probably where I draw the line.
I'm not talking about a wind
lot of
up
open hand,
fucking
backhand slap.
Mortal Kombat
Well,
fucking
flying
Star.
knee.
not like a 1950s. My wife made tuna casserole after my
nah,
chef.
none of that
Fuck
shit.
this.
Oh,
No,
but those
none
are the
of that.
classic.
Suplex your
Those were a
wife.
hit,
Yeah,
mate.
suplex your wife.
Going up to the top
fucking
rope.
fucking
rope.
RKO her off the staircase.
But
Yeah.
just in defense though, there are only so many times I felt like I could eat casserole in a week. All right, like let's be honest.
Right?
Like,
Come
you know,
on.
gotta stop swinging at some
Sharon,
point.
like
That's a joke.
joke, by the way.
No, I think for sure, kids are coddled. I think
Do you-
absolutely. I'm convinced.
Do you
that
think it's the issue where all these kids are coddled and then they're exposed to the internet at that age, like 14, and then all of a sudden they're exposed to everything all at once?
I think they're exposed way before 14. First
Yeah.
of all, I think these days it's really like
they're on the iPad at
Oh
6.
shit!
dude.
Yeah, now
Straight up,
even
yeah.
They're on the
younger.
iPad.
Yeah.
You know,
so young now.
But like when they even by the time they're 8, they're consciously consuming information on the internet. They've
Yeah.
learned how to seek it by then.
Yeah.
Before then, they kind of
Fuck,
just
yeah.
like autoplay whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. I haven't spoken to many 5-year-olds lately.
Yeah, we should get one on the podcast.
That is so sick. There's like a
That
5-year-old there. Like, so like, what are your thoughts on social justice?
Strains.
I think the Baby Shark
I
video
like
is very good.
water.
Can I watch Paw Patrol now?
Please, I like dogs.
Yeah.
no, dude. Like, I mean, especially when I was working as a waiter, like I would go up to tables,
Yeah.
like these middle-aged women, like maybe 30 years old, with their fucking husband. They probably doesn't love them.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there with this kid they probably don't want. They just look miserable.
Damn.
And they're not looking at their kid. They're
Yeah.
not talking to their kid. They give a kid the iPad, and they let the kid just go on the iPad the entire meal. Like the entire 2 hours they're there. This kid's eyes are fucking glued to the iPad. What is that?
Yeah. What is that? It's training them at a very young age to be addicted to technology and to be addicted to
Use it to fill
distractions
time, yeah.
and honestly to consumption.
It's fucking
Yeah,
awful.
you lose that
Consumption.
creativity. It's almost
Yeah.
like killing everyone's creativity, just making them just consume shit.
It's
Like
insane.
I try really hard not to be the guy that's like phone's bad, but
At a young
Phone's
age.
bad.
dude, phone's kind of bad. Like a lot of the time,
yeah, they
man.
kind of bad.
Like a lot of the time, I even notice it myself. I have
Yeah.
to check my behavior, or else I start feeling like, oh my god.
I mean, especially when you're
Crazy.
still developing.
Yeah.
When all you know is, Candy Crush on your iPad at a young age, when all you know is
Among
going
Us.
on Twitter and playing Among Us and playing
Yeah.
games. I didn't get a fucking Game Boy or anything until I was 8 or 9.
Bro, my
Yeah,
parents wouldn't
even
even let me
then-
get a Game Boy, and I saved up my own money. They were smart.
But even then, like, they were like, you can only do it like, a couple hours a day after you're done with your homework. And it was like a balance. But now
Yeah,
people
reward.
are just, it's just all they know.
and it's definitely resulting in like kids not being socialized properly when they're
Yeah.
younger, which is so fucking important, man. Because like when you're a parent, dude, it is your responsibility as a parent to make your kid likable
Yes.
to other kids and to other like
Adults.
Because if they're not likable, then they're gonna have all the doors in the world closed to them.
Yeah.
If your kid doesn't know, if like you invite your kid over to like a family friend's house and you introduce them to like its parents and the other kids, and they don't know how to socialize.
Like, can I have the iPad now, mommy?
Every time they Every time they then get invited to that house and go, oh fuck, it's Jared's kid coming over again.
and they have to, and the thing is, like, they're going to be pretending to like the kid, and this kid is going to be growing up,
stunted.
Yeah, would you want to fucking grow up like, and you're going to catch on, because kids eventually are going to will catch on to the fact that people don't actually like me.
Yeah.
And then they're going to think that when people genuinely like them, that they're fucking playing pretend, that they're faking it. And that's going to give, that's going to fuck you up mentally.
And then you just burrow deeper into the internet.
Exactly.
Because that's where you're comfortable.
It's your escape.
That's your escape.
Oh, shit.
That's your escape. And then you're like, oh, well, I found these other kids on Discord that I kind of like.
Yeah,
These other kids, they kind of have all these fucking, another one likes them either.
Yeah.
And, it's not the kid's fault. They're just,
no,
they've been raised by parents that don't understand what they're doing to their kid, or maybe they do understand, they don't care. But it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see. The kids that are actually socialized properly will have every advantage over that kid.
Yeah.
Every advantage in the world. And those are the kids, they're going to notice those kids and be like, I don't want to be friends with that guy because he's weird. Like, well, he's, whatever.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, dude.
But that's not to say I'm trying to justify bullying these kids or anything like that. I think it's a tragedy. I think it's terrible. And I think it's, maybe one of the worst things about growing up in a world where parents don't understand the
I wonder if
internet,
we're lucky then. I wonder if we're lucky that we weren't.
In some ways, we're blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we
were
the internet still came along for us.
It
and
did.
your parents probably didn't teach you shit about it, but by that point you were already socialized.
Pretty much.
We were born at the right time. We're the
happy.
best generation, but
you guys
we remember a
born-
time before the internet and after the internet.
I mean, you guys got like, I got 10 years on you guys, and like,
you fucker.
I'm just saying. It was a bit better, dude. Fucking 1988, dude.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite thing about 1988?
1988. I was a baby. Being born.
It was pretty low.
About 1992.
1992.
You should have said the cocaine.
Dude, I would have been. I would have been 4.
Yeah.
I would have been 4 years old.
Yeah.
I guess.
Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us. Yeah, playing on my iPad.
Yeah.
Fucking going outside.
Yeah, man. Like, I think maybe in some ways we're over exaggerating this. Like, these kids aren't on the computer all the time. Some of them are though, dude. Some of these kids are on the computer all.
I wish they could see like
even
the
being
average
on there for most of the
nowadays.
day. Even being on there for fucking 6 or 7 hours. Like,
how do they have that much time? Aren't they at like school all day?
Bro,
How do they have
well,
6
they
hours
have
to sit on the
online.
iPad?
They got school online now.
I was playing
it's
so
minimized
much
in Discord
RuneScape and
the
shit
entire
back in the day. I was playing 16 hours a day. Like,
Yeah.
I
World
understand.
of Warcraft?
Yeah, I understand
Oh,
completely how
I get it
people
too,
have
dude.
time.
I do the
RuneScape.
same.
Like, as a kid, you literally don't worry about anything. Like,
yeah, there's like no responsibilities.
nothing
You're
at
like, that's
all.
your whole life.
You can
Let me just
literally
fucking
do whatever.
RuneScape or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I talk about the kids that gravitate towards the internet as an escape because I relate to that.
Yeah,
Like when I
exactly.
was 14, I was fucking depressed as shit. Like
100%.
the internet was my place that I
Mhm.
would go and just zone out and just find happiness on it,
Yeah.
find comfort.
I never had
I
social media, though.
I just couldn't. So there's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
level to
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine having that when I'm like 7 or 8, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get no prior experience, no prior perspective, and not only that, but being taught that that comfort zone is there for you at all times from that age. Even if your kid isn't on the iPad all the time, if they're still taught that, oh well, I don't have anything to do right now, I'm going to pull out my phone and consume content.
Yeah, it's going to get
That's
more and more
fucking
accessible.
bad, dude.
Yeah.
That's so bad. Like,
Well, then
that's
again,
so bad.
nowadays, how often do we do that? We're like sitting in line. Oh, I gotta wait like 10 minutes in line. Fucking.
I
like,
consciously
instantly.
try not to do it because
Yeah.
I know that it's dumbing me down, man.
It's like, oh, I just need to hit a dopamine. I need a distraction.
It's just going to keep getting more and more accessible, too.
I read the
Yeah.
news, man. I try to
Yeah,
if I'm gonna be on my phone, I don't want to be on fucking Twitter and read brain dead comments. I want to be actually learning something.
I make all those apps the hardest to get
Yeah,
to.
you put
on
in
my
like
phone.
social
like,
media
like
folder.
10
I keep
folders.
it sounds kind of cringe, but I have like Duolingo on like my front page now. So it's like, okay, I'm obviously, if I open my phone, it's like, okay, I'm obviously bored. I'm looking for something to do. Let me do something like productive.
Yeah.
Where I could like learn something instead.
Yeah.
Just scroll and scroll and scroll, you know?
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
can leave hate comments in different languages.
Yes, dude, thank you. El culo de tu papere es muy pequeño.
Oh shit!
What do you even know what I said?
Muy bueno.
Yeah.
You said your dick was small.
No, I said your dad's asshole is very small.
Oh, is that pretty close?
Yeah, not bad.
That's
Damn.
clean.
Yeah.
Is that something you learned recently on the app?
Yeah.
Very, very cool, dude.
It's very good. It's like, what is this?
He
Manzana.
learned it
Rojo.
from his Mexican friend.
He was fucking his dad.
Yeah. By the way, amigo,
Your dad's asshole, very small.
Very small.
muy pequeño.
That's
Tight
so funny.
ass.
That's one of my favorite jokes from one of your videos. Is the one where it's like you said something in Arabic and it's like, I think, who was it? Raccoon Eggs said there's going to be a hate comment, but it's going to in Arabic, but it's going to be in caps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite rack jokes.
That's
for
one of my
sure.
favorite
It's
jokes.
just
ever.
somehow being all cash. Fuck me. I miss that
Those
fucking
times
guy.
were those times
Yeah,
were
I
great.
miss Raccoon Eggs so much.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he's figured himself out. He'll come back someday.
Yeah.
You never know. You never
Man.
know. But yeah, fucking, not to be phones bad, but phones
Fuck
kind of
phones.
bad.
Bad.
And yeah, like what you're saying is true, man. Like that temptation is, oh, I have a free second, boom, on the phone. Or,
Instant,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know what to say in a social setting, phone. You know?
That's like
trying
Jay,
to stop
yeah.
that.
yeah.
Trying
That's
to be
like Jay said. It's easier to get to now. Like
So easy.
or the what's it? The Face ID. You don't even need to punch in the
Yeah,
fast
you
code.
don't
Just
have to
look
do
at
anything.
it, and it's like
Yeah,
there.
well,
you know.
before it was the fucking thumbprint. Just
Yeah,
It's
so-
just going to keep
look at it.
progressing to it. It's going
Now
to
it's just going to be in your mind.
Yeah.
You're like,
In your
oh, I
mind.
want to connect.
Yeah.
Boom.
And it's there.
it's going to keep progressing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And obviously these aren't, these are ideas that kind of most people are familiar with now, but like
Yeah.
the fact that social media is designed to be addictive, it's designed to be as
Yeah.
accessible as possible.
It's like
And
they
it's always, these apps just have monopolies over the space
Yeah.
as well. So there's
Yeah.
just like Twitter's the
Yeah.
go-to for this, Instagram's the go-to for this, Instagram owns Snapchat,
That's why deplatforming is a tool. Somebody says you don't agree with them, makes such a huge stink about it. You remove their Patreon. You get them banned off
Yeah.
of
Mm.
YouTube. You get them banned off of Twitch.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it doesn't even have to be like, we can't wind that this guy did something fucking awful. Like he committed a crime. He did something horrible. I'm putting it at you, but I shouldn't
I
be.
do awful things all the time.
I do crimes.
When I'm not on my phone, I'm normally killing or
Yeah. You're killing-
other such
yeah.
things.
killing time. You know.
It's not like they're pointing at these people and then it goes to fucking court and then they go through the evidence and it's a proper process and then they're guilty or they're innocent or whatever. It's like
Kangaroo court.
It's like you're accused of something. Well, Twitch is going to be like, oh, well, we want to make sure that everyone is safe. Fucking ban.
Yeah,
YouTube is going to be like, oh, well, we don't condone this alleged behavior. Ban.
They have a thing with if you're a brand risk, you get less ads or less money from your ads.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
depending on
Actually-
how many How much for brand risk?
Oh, how many like
Twitch?
things those pop up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it's actually my notes here. Twitch has added an automatic brand safety score.
Oh
A brand safety
This
score.
is the social credit score, boys. I just called it. I'm telling you.
In some ways, a brand safety score was found in Twitch's internal API a couple days ago. I think it was a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, it would have been a couple
Rating
weeks.
is based on the age, whether a streamer is 18 plus, 21 plus or not. Manual rating given by Twitch staff, so Twitch staff watching the stream and they'll rate it themselves. Ban history, relationship the streamer has with Twitch, which is an interesting
Please don't
one.
read chat history.
Like if you just get off on the wrong foot with Twitch, they
It's
can
like-
fuck you.
Your disgusting
Is that-
chat.
yeah,
is
it's
just-
like the girl that spread her pussy and asshole
Yeah.
probably had a relationship with Twitch.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it
That's so
just goes to
fucked.
show that like these companies aren't taking any chances because why would they? Like they're focused on profit. They're focused on making it as accessible and as
For young
pleasant as
people.
possible for people.
That's
is
how
a
we
fucked
solve
up
it.
thing,
I
man.
figured it out. I know how we solve the whole the internet cancel culture. It's going to take time, but we just got to progressively keep driving home the point that no one cares. It's okay to be offensive. And then finally, when the brands catch on, they'll be like, okay, yeah, it's okay to be offensive. And they're like, hey, how do you do, fellow kids? They start promoting more like offensive ads and shit. And then we're home
Burger
free.
King tried that.
Yeah.
Didn't work
Oh,
out.
yeah.
You
Yeah, but
remember
there's
that
always going to be a
shit?
few at the beginning. It's going to be
Yeah,
scuffed.
yeah,
but-
they're pioneers.
They're pioneers.
Thank you.
Women belong in the kitchen.
We're gonna
said
look
Burger
back at
King.
that Burger King UK. We're gonna look back at that in 20 years and be like, "That's a good
Dude,
stuff."
imagine.
That's a good
They
one.
should have just fucking. They should have just stuck on it.
Double
dude.
down.
They should have just stuck the defuse, dude.
They should have.
They really should have.
0.1 seconds left.
Because like even if like you know. Even if like there was a big stink about it, at least they would probably get a couple of misogynists that want a burger.
Yeah.
You know?
Still
make money in the end.
People at McDonald's be
People
like,
are still
these
gonna
guys
go.
took PC. I'm going to Burger King now. I'm going to BK.
People are still gonna fucking consume the fast food. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, look, I have confidence that the pendulum will swing back the other way.
It always
Because
does.
it always does.
I'm just worried. I've noticed the pendulum is always a thing that happens. Like, this was something I learned in political science was like, you know, you have a Democratic president, you know, maybe he gets another term, then it's going to go to Republican, maybe another term, maybe another Republican, then a Democrat, you know, and then it's a pendulum. It goes back and forth, you know, with the public, you know, perception and opinion. But I'm worried that as this pendulum swings, it's not going to just be the same. It's going to go big
More extreme.
and bigger before it's fucking doing like fucking circles around itself.
What happens when it gets past the halfway point and it starts actually going over the top,
Over
back
the
towards
top,
the other
back to
one?
where it
Is that
is?
anarchy? Is that revolution? Is that fires in the streets?
Yeah, I reckon it
riots.
probably, you know.
Or are we seeing?
It's just spinning and everyone's in harmony because everyone's just fucked up at everything, you know?
It's like, I don't know what I am. Am I left or am I
What
right?
the fuck am I?
Yeah, just completely
Yeah.
just breaks down, and then it's just complete anarchy and maybe individualism, which who knows could be pog.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
maybe
think
we're
it's
seeing the
probably
dumbing
nicest.
down of everyone slowly over time, and so the pendulum is slowly going to stop swinging until it just remains in one fucking authoritarian state. The masses are controlled by TikTok.
TikTok, bro.
I hate TikTok.
Oh, it's
Why is it
shit.
called TikTok? The pendulum stops spinning and then it's no longer TikTok.
Oh, shit.
Yo.
Yo.
Zombies.
Addison Rae for
1984.
president.
George Orwell was right. I'm kidding,
Yeah.
but you know,
Fuck,
maybe.
dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I
It's
just
more Brave New World, bro.
more Brave New World. Yeah.
The phone is Soma. Everyone's taking some Soma.
Mm.
You have read Brave New World to get that reference. Sorry, man.
I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
Yes, you have an enlightened centrist.
Soma in Brave New World was this drug. The entire concept of Brave New World is that people were genetically engineered from birth and assigned a role.
Yeah.
So like, for example, people would be like working in like a power facility and it was super hot and they had to be like going up and down and hanging upside down to be able to fix these things. But they were genetically modified from birth
To do just that, not only that.
like they would feel uncomfortable if they weren't hanging upside down or if they weren't
Right.
like really warm. And like, you know, they were shocked like while they were babies, so that way like
Shit.
they would only respond to like certain like a certain system and all this stuff. So like it was utopian because people had these predetermined roles that they were doing.
Yeah.
And like they had this drug called Soma, S-O-M-A, that they would take and it would like, you know, give them euphoria and peace and like
That
calm
sounds
their
like the
nerves.
B movie.
You know?
Okay, explain.
But they all have roles, bro. They all have roles like the crud picker.
It's a hive.
And they're
in
all
some senses.
Yeah.
You know, they
like society.
It's like it creates utopia, but it also removes what it means to be human. You know,
well, it removes individualism. You don't have a choice.
There's
there is
biological
no freedom.
computers at that sense. Got to do this.
But does it matter if everybody's happy? And that was the question that it provoked. I think if you were happy all the time, if I was happy all the time, I'd fucking kill myself, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd know like what the difference is though.
No, that's the thing. How do you know what being content is if you never felt discontent?
Yeah.
It would just be so boring.
It's like, do you mean happy or do you mean discontent? Because happiness as a concept can't exist without suffering or without sadness. Like, at least I believe.
It's like, how does the concept of heaven work out? If everything's perfect, how do you know it's perfect?
That's the thing. And that's why it's just a, paradox of a concept, right? But,
you're saying it's not real?
I mean, I guess there's a way to exist in a state of just being content, but that's Wall-E.
Wall-E, yeah.
That's the fat guys on the fucking scooters just getting fed,
fed, drink, screen in front of their eyes.
Comfort zone.
And it's like, sure, but it's numb is a better word. Being continually content is just the same as being numb, because there's not enough of this in the graph. There's not enough fucking.
You need some downs to like do something like creative or something, or just sit in your chair and.
That's the fire that makes us human.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah. Wow, that was inspirational.
Art is suffering. Is that like the saying or something?
Yeah, art is suffering, art is pain.
Yeah.
Art is horror. Not whore.
Art is horror.
I like that art though.
Oh, that's porn.
Yeah, and art is the ability to take that suffering and use that to convey that to other people in a way that they understand and can look at that and be like, oh, that's beautiful because I understand that feeling. I understand what that means because that's a human experience.
So what do you say about the one where they tape a banana on the wall? What does that mean? Is that just like monkey?
Monkey.
Banana.
Monkey. Obviously a lot of art's bullshit. Tax evasion as well, but
right.
There's never going to be another Leonardo da Vinci because everyone's not even artists anymore.
It's all it's not even art. It's just NFTs. It's just fucking NFTs.
It's all crypto.
Crypto art.
All right. Well, we've talked enough shit about the internet. Let's talk about some things that are great with it. Because I don't want to be a doomer. I don't want. Try and keep an eye on myself because I do have a tendency to be very cynical and very nihilistic and think, the world's going to shit. All these things are bad, but there are also plenty of good things to come from social media and phones.
Well, it does also like you're like, oh, everyone's connected. Everyone can have an opinion on everything, but at the same time, you're more connected with more people on the world, like instantaneously. None of us would met each other if it wasn't
exactly. It brings people together. And the flip side of the argument that the people who are socially repressed, recede to the internet, it's valid, but also
they're also getting some like social interaction out of
they're getting the practice from it. There was actually this time I was in VR chat. The whole VR headset and everything, you're going up, like you're talking to people like in a physical space.
Yeah.
You could go up, you could touch people, you could talk, you can converse, you can tell jokes, you can do whatever. And it's amazing because I've met a lot of people on there, like, while I'm recording, obviously it's not going to the videos, I'm just having conversations with them. And, these people are like, oh, I have Asperger's or I'm just very socially awkward. I'm sorry. And I'm just like, don't apologize. They're like, I'm like, why do you like being on VR chat so much? Like, how often are you on? Because they're always talking about how they're always on.
Yeah.
And they said it's just, they find that it's like therapy. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, I can imagine it help people.
It does. It legitimately does because these people are literally, that are like agoraphobic. They don't go outside, or they stay inside, or they can't make friends, or they can't do anything. They're literally walking around in a 3D space, going up to people, talking to them. The people are talking back. Sometimes they're rude. Sometimes they're not. But the beauty of it is that you're not like you, but you're still being able to talk, formulate your thoughts, have deep conversations, or just any conversation.
Well, it's literally
with
you know how they have like truck simulators and shit. It's just a socializing simulator. That's all it is.
You're able to socialize without existing in your physical form and attached to preconceived notions of who you are. It's perfect. It's great.
I'm imagining like you're sitting in like an office room and someone just comes in and is like, you guys have to put this on. It's like a meeting or something. You have to put these headsets on, and it turns out the boss has like social anxiety. He comes out as like a dragon or something.
Yeah, he's a fat dragon.
Well, that's another thing that's beautiful about the internet is that it's actually accelerated, acceptance and progression and love and like I guess
open-minded thoughts and ideas. And
open-mindedness because people are realizing that people like all kinds of different things and exist as individuals on all kinds of different levels. They find people that they identify
You're not going to meet
with.
like any of those like in your own hometown in this little bubble. You know, you can like explore.
Yeah,
all that
it allows you to just see almost humanity as a whole and all their weirdness, all their flaws, you know, all the beauty, you know, whatever, and it's all out there. And so, you know, we're seeing a rise in, I think, individuality in many ways as well.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, thank fuck. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of conforming going on and a lot of following ideas and ideologies on the internet, but there's also this breakthrough of the individual and like empowerment for, like, it's okay that I like these things. It's okay that I'm this way. Yeah. It's okay that these are my interests.
Or it's like, I'm okay liking this thing and maybe not liking this thing, or I like this, not this, but I also like this. And it's like, you know, well, I'm an individual, that's fine. But it's when you're a part of a group. And I feel like this is something to touch on. Like, if anyone is listening to this that's part of like a social circle or a quote unquote, you know, friend group, and like you are passionate about something, or you really enjoy a content creator, or you really enjoy, you know, a movie or a TV show or an actor, but you know, and you express this interest of something that you're really into, and these people tell you that you're not allowed to have that interest, or you're not allowed to do that. Fuck them. Like, honestly, fuck them. Well, you know, literally, but you know, you like find friends that are actually accepting, because it's better because when you're an adult, like when you're a proper 33-year-old man like me, and like you meet somebody. I've had so many friends in college that like I've discussed things with, and they had a completely different political belief, or they had a completely different like ideology and opinions, and I would be like, well, I don't agree with that, and you know, we'd have a discussion, and then you know, the discussion could end with us being like, well, dude, I don't think we can get anywhere with this, but we wouldn't fucking stop being friends. We'd be like, okay, well, now that we're off of that, I'll roll a joint, and they'd be like, word.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the beautiful thing about understanding one another without necessarily agreeing with one another.
Yes,
you know, because that's everything. That's like, if you're able to connect with people even though you disagree with them, and still like be like, oh, well, I can kind of see where you're coming from. I personally that still goes against my beliefs. You know, as long as it's not some fucked up shit.
Well, it's healthy.
You know, that's great. That's dope. That's maturity. Yeah, that's maturity. And I think a lack of that is what we're seeing with this cancel culture shit.
Well, it makes sense, because a lot of them, you know, legitimately aren't mature. They're not. I'm sure the bulk majority aren't even over 18.
They're that 14-year-old age where they're like, I'm very mature for my age, kind of shit.
Yeah, you know, it's that arrogance. Yeah,
it's arrogance. It's arrogance.
You know, we've all been there,
and we're pretty arrogant too, to be completely honest with you, in many ways, I'm sure.
Yes,
but hey. Yeah. At least we're better than those chumps. He says arrogantly. Yeah, interesting times though. Interesting little world we're living in.
Absolutely.
That's the end of the show.
Yeah,
if we want it to be.
Yeah, I think we.
That was a good way to
end our piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully it doesn't seem like we're just going on and on about this cancel culture shit. I know it can be kind of tedious to listen to, but. It is a growing thing, and let's be honest, it's kind of fucked up. So,
pretty fucked up.
Hopefully, most of you guys agree. We know you're our audience, and you guys know us. So,
at least we have something to look forward to, where we won't be looking at our screens. We won't be at the computer. Mm-hmm. We're going to be, you know, doing something very soon.
Yes, we will. Yes. We're going on a little adventure this week.
Going on a good adventure.
A quest.
Bit of a team building adventure. Going to get some good content for you guys, hopefully.
Misfits, having a good time. All together. Buddies with no screen.
Exactly.
That's right. Maybe you should do the same. Maybe once this podcast ends, you should put the phone down or the
turn your phone off, turn the computer off.
Maybe
go for a walk, or
have a conversation with your friend or a parent.
Pet your dog, pet your cat, talk to your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt.
Maybe to sit alone in your room and just have a think.
Or cry.
Or just have a jerk.
Maybe jerk off.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe cry while jerking off.
Maybe cry while jerking off.
Yeah.
You know?
Use the tears like
lubricant.
You would use
sad wank. Those are good.
Yes.
Tears and spit, you know, goes down nicely.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that charming note, we're the Misfits, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.